What if you could make every single message you deliver not just, heard, but actually influential? Well, in this explainer, we're going to unpack the science-backed framework from René Rodriguez's book, Amplify Your Influence, and show you exactly how to do that.
We've all been there, right? You pitch this brilliant idea, and you're met with just blank stares. Or you share something you're really passionate about, and all you get back is crickets. It's so frustrating, and it can make you feel kind of invisible. But what if the problem isn't your message?
So, here's the core idea of the book. Influence isn't some kind of magic. It's actually a science. It's a skill that absolutely anyone can learn just by understanding the predictable way our brains are wired to take in information. So where do we go wrong? Well, it turns out most of us make this one fundamental mistake in how we communicate, and it completely sabotages our message before we even get to the good part.
We're always taught to be concise, get straight to the point. But the thing is, by leading with the what, the data, the conclusion, we force our audience's brain to scramble and fill in all the contextual gaps with its own assumptions. And let's be honest, those assumptions are rarely on our side.
Just take this example of John the mortgage banker. When somebody asks him what he does, his direct answer is, well, it's factual, but it's totally forgettable. I'm a mortgage banker. But when he first shares this emotional story about how his father saved him through education, that exact same answer suddenly lands with incredible power. See, he gave context before the message, and that one little change made him influential. That story about John, it's the perfect illustration of the why behind influence. It's not just about what you say, it's about the sequence. Our brains are hardwired to process information in a very, very specific order. This right here is the foundation. It's not just what you say, it's the order you say it in. Like Rodriguez explains, the sequence can matter even more than the substance itself. Get that order wrong, and even the most brilliant idea is going to fail to land.
So before anyone's brain can truly accept your message, it runs through this unconscious 4-question checklist, and always in this specific order. First, am I safe? Then, do you care about me? Then, is this engaging? And finally, is this inspiring? You have to earn a yes at each and every stage to get to the next one. Okay, so how do we get those 4 yeses? Well, that's where the book's really practical tool comes in. It's a simple, super powerful formula for structuring any communication so it works with the brain's sequence, not against it. The formula is frame, then message, then tie down. It's this 3-part structure that lines up perfectly with the brain's unconscious checklist. Think of it like this. You're preparing the soil, then you plant the seed, and then you nurture it so it can grow. The frame is your first and, honestly, your most important job. This is where you answer those first 2 critical questions. Am I safe? And do you care about me? It's the story, the context, the shared experience that creates that psychological safety and shows your audience you actually value them. Only after you've established that frame can you deliver the message. This is your core idea, the logic, the facts, and figures. With those first 2 questions answered, the brain is now asking, okay, is this engaging? This is your shot to present your idea in a way that's new and stimulating. And finally, there's the tie down. This is what answers the brain's last question. Is this inspiring? You connect your message back to some kind of shared value or a bigger purpose. This is where you create meaning and you inspire people to act. It's the why this all matters part that makes your message really stick. But here's a really crucial truth. You can master the frame, the message, and the tie-down formula, but it will all fall completely flat without one foundational skill. The work of influence doesn't actually start with your audience. It starts inside you. So what is it? What's the one skill that underpins everything we've talked about? It's not charisma, it's not having a powerful voice, it's not even about storytelling.
It's self-awareness. It's the ability to really understand how our own values, our emotions, and our behaviors impact other people. Without it, you can't create psychological safety, you can't truly connect, and you can't be authentic. It is the absolute cornerstone of emotional intelligence and real influence. And here's the kicker. According to research by organizational psychologist Tasha Eurich, while most of us think we're self-aware, only about 10 to 15% of us actually are. That means that 8 or 9 out of every 10 leaders are operating with a massive blind spot. This quote from Shark Tank's Robert Herjavec just perfectly sums up the entire philosophy here. The burden of communication is always on the speaker. It's our job to understand the science, to follow the sequence, and to craft a message that is basically impossible to ignore. Ultimately, influence isn't an accident. It's a choice, and it's a process. So the next time you have something important to share, don't just lead with your message. Start by asking yourself, how am I going to build the frame? How will I create safety and connection before I even ask them to listen?